Sportage SX Prestige, which is the highest trim of the Kia Sportage. This one is the wolf grey color. It's actually very similar to the what I call base grey color with some sparkle in it. It has an interesting exterior on the front. It reminds me the Heisenberg vehicle from Breaking Bad. It has the bug eye looks, that old LED. Now, while this is the nice trim, in order to get into the car and unlock it, you can't just put your hand in. You have to press the button over here. It locks it and unlocks the vehicle. The mirrors do not fold automatically. Now, the inside of the vehicle, although it's very hard to realize, it is red inside. It looks very brownish in most of the pictures, but it is red inside. Now let's go to the back of the vehicle. Pop the trunk, you just press a button and it opens up for you. You can do it from the remote control as well. Quite a lot of space in the back. You can put quite a lot of bodies inside if you need to. The back seats actually fold into a very nice size trunk. Closing it again is all button. Moving to the back seat. They came up with some nice features into the back of the vehicle. So if you have kids in the back and you want to play some iPad, you can hang it right over here. So the kids can actually watch something. It's actually very good for hanging your clothes as well. Again, the inside of the vehicle is not real leather. It's a synthetic fake leather, but it makes it heavier duty. Very spacious in the back. I'm 6'3", and the seat is about almost all the way to the back, and I have quite a lot of leg room in here, which is very nice. Same as height in the back, which is very different. In most cars it's very low. Things changes when you enter into the driver's seat. So again, push button to start the vehicle. The seat adjusts automatically to the position that you like to be in. I'm 6'3", and my head basically touches it over here. I had to open up the moonroof in order to have some space in the head. I can reach the steering wheel relatively nice, but I can't reach the screen. So to reach the screen, I actually have to bend over. Now the screen looks like one big piece bended up, but it's actually two separate screens. You have multiple options of view, but if you want to have a digital speedometer like I like, you can't have it right here in the center. You can only have it in the left. You can choose between several options of the display. There is the classic look. Then we have option number 2, which is sports mode, option number 3. And then you have the dynamic option, which is a background and a digital speedometer. It's the only way to have a digital speedometer again. Now, a couple of things I've noticed in this vehicle. If you want, you can come from the other side. So, the place where you need to hold your hand to close the door is actually far in the back, right over here. So when you open the door and you want to shut it, you're used to hold it in the front. There is no real space for it. There is a small bump, but that's about it. You have to have your hand all the way to the back and then move your entire body to close it. Now, if we're going into the radio, it's very interesting. Why? Because as you can see on the screen, there is no way to adjust the volume on the screen or anywhere in the center console. You have to do it as the driver only from the left side. But as the driver, you can actually not change the radio station. You have to use the big screen. Changing the station can only be done over here. There is no way to change it from the screen at
custom
all.
products.
And again, there's no way to change the volume from the center console. Now the Kia does have some nice features in it. As you can see, everything here is touch. The whole air conditioner control is all touch. You can put your phone over here and charge it. It takes about 3-4 seconds from the moment you put your phone until it charges. This light will go on when it starts charging it, which is weird. You can see it still didn't turn on. You would have expected it to charge the phone. You sometimes need to play with it until it beeps. You can control your heating steering wheel and your heated and cool seats from here. But the cool features about this vehicle, when you use the turn signal, let's say I'm planning to go on the left lane, if I use the turn signal, the camera on the dashboard turns on. You can actually see yourself what's happening on your left side and what's happening on the right side, which is a very nice feature. It doesn't really exist in many vehicles. In 5 years it will probably be standard at all, but it means that the side mirrors has no real value anymore. Everything happens in your dashboard. Now, it has the automatic high beams, automatic lights, but the biggest problem with it is every time you enter the car you need to set the automatic high beams by itself. You just push the handle, and if we look at the dashboard over here, it says auto. The problem is that if I turn the car off and then I turn the car back on, it doesn't work automatically. Every single time that you enter the car you have to push the handle again to have the automatic high beams. It's something that I would have expected to happen. Now, although it is the highest trim, the central reverse rear mirror is not automatically fading compared to somebody reflecting you with the high beams. You have to manually do it like back in the old days. Now, I don't know if we can see it on the video, but the windshield is not smooth. There are small stripes on it. Now, while people don't think it's very serious, at night when a vehicle drives in front of you, you can actually see it quite well, and it's very disturbing. And once you know about its awareness, it will bother you every time you're trying to drive the car. There are some cool features in it. For example, the place to put a cup holder is built so you can put a regular size cup holder. It's slightly adjusted, and you can also put a big cup holder by clicking this in, and you press it, and you can put a small cup holder in here. You can also press the button and you can see 360 vision of the whole camera in the dashboard. What I did pay attention that was nice about it is if you're entering a garage and the car identifies walls around you, it will automatically move into a 360 view, so you will be able to enter freely into a garage without hitting anything around it. Besides that, it has a full adaptive cruise control, but one of the nice features in it is that unlike most of the vehicles, if you leave your hands off the steering wheel, it will not beep at you and releases the cruise control. It will let you keep on cruising on almost fully autonomic condition, which means you can drive for miles away without touching your hands, which is a safety issue, but for some reason they have skipped that step. The lights over here are touch lights, so you just touch the bezel over here and it turns on and off. Let's close the door on your side so we can show it. So this turned off. If I want to turn it on, I just touch it. You can swipe your hand. It's all about that bezel over here, the surrounding bezel. Now we got a moonroof over here, but the moonroof is very sensitive. What does it mean? It means that if I close the moonroof, if I say to myself, okay, I would just want to have the curtains being removed. If I just press it back, look what happens. It just opens it completely. I didn't ask for it to open, I just wanted to have the curtains away. Apparently this button over here has mode 1 and mode 2. And you have to be very sensitive with your finger if you just want to have the curtains easy, to slowly pet it. And that's the only way to have just the curtains opened up. Very interesting. When you turn your car off, it will remind you if your phone is being charged. It will tell you, don't forget your phone. It will also tell you to look into the back of the seat to make sure you didn't forget anything. As we all know, there were situations where people forgot their pets and kids in the back when they were sleeping and something happened to them. That is a good reminder to remind you that your kids are over there. So if I turn the car off and I open the door, it's going to tell me to look at the passengers and belongings, and it also tells me that my phone has been left in the car. Another good feature of it, which we will edit it to show you, is when you park somewhere and the car drives next to you and you try to open the door, it will tell you that the car is about to cross by and you should wait for the car to pass. That's a good thing, because if you just open your door, they'll just slam into your car and take away your door. We don't want that to happen. Those are expensive doors. It has a nice Harman Kardon sound system, I believe 16 speakers in it, which makes it very nice. It has the easy entrance and getting out of the vehicle, so when you open the door it actually slides my chair backwards, so I will have an easier way out of here.
So out of a rating of 100
Okay.
in its class.
In its class. So this is actually very innovative. Insane innovative. It's so innovative that you need to understand. Right now, with the shortage of vehicles, you can't really test drive the high trim of the Kia. I didn't. But in order for me to actually test it, I had to actually buy one. So I went and bought myself a $37,000 car so I can test it and be one of the first to do it online. Innovation-wise, what you see over here, those nice screens, they only exist in vehicles like Mercedes, Rolls-Royce, etc. They don't really exist in a $37,000 car. Not even in Hyundai and all the other vehicles that try to be innovative. It makes it innovation-wise, besides small stuff, which is the side mirrors don't fold in and don't have the reflection protection and the central mirror don't have it, I would rank it as 90 out of 100 when it comes to innovation. There are quite a lot of safety features in it. It's an excellent family vehicle with a lot of space. Now, engine-wise, they use a 2.5 liter V4 engine. It has 4 cylinders in it. No turbo, no supercharger. It has about 180 horsepower, very lazy horses, I would say. They're not Italian horses. And some of them probably already ran away from the stallion, okay? And it's a brand new vehicle. It's not fast. 0 to 60, probably about 10 seconds. I would call it, it's crap, let's be honest. It's not fast at all. I mean, it has a very sensitive steering wheel, which is very nice. Because it's electric, you can feel the corners when you're driving it. So engine-wise, I would give it about 60 out of 100. You would have expected from new vehicles like this to be able to have more power, especially since the fuel economy, as you can see, I'm at 20 miles per gallon. And I'm not heavy on the leg. In 90 miles that I drove it, I've averaged 20 miles per gallon. And I live in the rural area, I don't really drive in the city. So it's not very fuel efficient as I would have expected from a 2023 vehicle. So engine-wise, I would give it 60. The transmission is relatively smooth, it has 8 gears into it. It doesn't go like a CVT, it's not all the way without any feeling. You do feel it, especially if you rev up the engine a little bit, but the transmission does get a score of 80 out of 100. Now, the look of it. I really like the way it looks from the back. It's a very pretty vehicle from the back. The front, I understand they try to make something that is more high-tech, let's say space-wise. I was not impressed about the front of it. Many people I talked to really liked it. So look-wise, I would actually give it about 75, 76 out of 100. There is much more to it that you can put in the front of the vehicle that you didn't do it. Now, assembly. Let's pay attention on the dashboard. You can see those stitches over here, so you're saying to yourself, oh wow, there is a leather. There is no leather, guys. This is plastic. Nothing in here. It just looks very pretty on the stitches. They could have made it in a different color to make it prettier, but it's not high quality. This is a fake carbon, it's a piece of plastic. Now let's look at where we put the cups holders. Pay attention to this. Look at the flexibility I have over here. I don't know how long it will last. If I'm going to put a big device in here, it's probably going to break it. It doesn't feel so good. Now, this is very nice. It reminds me of those old H2 Humvees that can hold it with your hand. But what's interesting is that I'm putting it in D. Sometimes, you put your hand on it. You don't need much power and you just play with it and poof, it moves into manual. There is no any separation or any click. You just put your hand and it just slides. So you can find yourself putting it in manual for no obvious reason, which is very weird. Now, it does have auto hold to hold the car from sliding when you start driving, which happens quite a lot in this vehicle. I would have expected it to be automatic at all time, but it's just not. And then it has the downhill to keep it on low gear to help you with easing on the brakes. There is a drive mode. The drive mode basically changed it from super economy mode, as they like to call it, which I call it granny mode, grandma mode. It doesn't really go anywhere. Sport mode, which just revs it up but doesn't really move much. Center console only has one mode into it. There are no separate modes, so you can't really put coins in it. And there is some padding here. It's very cheap. And I believe this is a place for you to hide the key if you want to. It's very common, especially in a valet mode. which exists in this vehicle. Now the screen over here, not very fast, so when you choose something and you want it to move to that mode, it will take it a second. As I press setup, I press vehicle, I wait. Not a lot of options actually exist on this vehicle, which I found it surprising because it has so many features if you would be able to adjust it. For example, I can't really stop the seatbelt chime. Disabled people or people like me, I live on a big land, I want to drive 10 miles an hour in my land for a second. I have to put my seatbelt, it starts beeping right away, which is very annoying. You can use an extension for the seatbelt, it's your only way out of it. It has 180 watts 12 volt connection over here, which means you can probably connect your laptop, you can connect quite a lot, but you can't put your hair blower in it, it won't hold it. The quality of the sound is very nice because it has relatively good sound system. In general, I would rank this vehicle 72 out of 100. It lost some points, mostly on the engine. It's just, if you think about it, Kia has a higher trim mode level. It's called the Kia Sorento. The Kia Sorento does come with a turbo engine on the higher trims, which brings it to close to 300 horsepower and make it move much faster. And the pricing difference is several couple $1,000s, and you can get yourself a vehicle that honestly is much more attractive. So if you're low on budget and you want a very good solid family car that is very developed technology wise, this is one of the best choices. I've checked all the options that Hyundai has, and none of them had all that technology in here. They were slightly prettier but didn't have the technology. It's very nice to have a red interior on a vehicle that comes in the lower costs of vehicles. It's built relatively nice. Again, if you look at the door, this section over here is fake leather. This is not, this is plastic. This is plastic, this is plastic, this is plastic. But it's built relatively good, relatively strong, which makes it a relatively good vehicle. I didn't hear any cranking noises, any problems in it. It drives relatively smooth. I did pay attention. I noticed that the Kia Connect on this vehicle doesn't work so well. For example, it doesn't work at all. It's crap, it's a piece of shit. You can't connect your phone to it. It tells you that your car is on, your car is not on. It tells you that your vehicle has 0 miles in it, which I found out because I've been driving this car for about 100 miles, and if I turn the app on, it tells me that the vehicle never driven and it doesn't even know where it is. So hopefully they will fix that. It might be just an update in the firmware of the ECU or PCM or whatever they want to call the 3 letters computer in this machine. It's a good car. Would I buy it again to myself? Probably not. Would I give it to one of my guys as a gift? Absolutely yes. I think everybody would like it, and everybody who will put into it will be very impressed in what Kia has made in those days. The development from the previous Kia Sportage looks like a bug, ugly. The inside looks like it was dated in the year of 2000. Big leap, big jump. It's a good car. I would buy it for regular families. I wouldn't buy it for car enthusiasts. A solid family car. Does it have a soul into it? No. This vehicle does not have a soul. This is where the sensors are. So you can't really put any license plate over here to disturb it. There's 2 small holes in here if you want to put your license plate, but you have to make sure they don't go under this line. So they will actually block some of the grille. The front camera is over here. This is the adaptive cruise control. Sensors are hiding behind this box. If you're going for the cheaper model, this box does not exist. This grille goes all the way, and then you can actually have the license plate slightly lower. It has nice front splitter. It also has a very cool chrome back splitter. I'm not really sure about the chrome colors on it. It also has some cheap chrome on the sides. The gas can only open if the doors are unlocked. If the doors are locked, you won't be able to pop this up. What I find odd is that it still uses a cup that you have to unscrew and fuel up. Most of the vehicles nowadays don't have it. It has a nice small spoiler in the back, very common in Italian vehicles like the Maseratis. I don't really think it's aerodynamic, it's mostly for look wise only. Pay attention. We have the antenna in the back. As you can see, the antenna is black. It's not painted in the same color of the vehicle, which I don't understand why they won't do that. But it is what it is. The back splitter, as you can see, it's chrome. You would have expected the front splitter to be chrome as well, but they did the front black and the rear silver. I don't know why. Obviously it's an all-wheel drive car, 4X. Not all models come all-wheel drive, so if you're looking for an all-wheel drive car, ask them if it's all-wheel drive. They sell those in full front-wheel drive option as well in all trim levels. So pay attention, it not necessarily means that this is an all-wheel drive car. The back windows are slightly tinted, which is very nice, especially if you have kids in the back, they get less of the sun. They come up with Michelin tires, which are very good tires for a vehicle that is a mid-level price. Very nice black and chrome looks. I do like that as well. It's a pretty car besides those lights. We can take it on a drive right now. You can hear it's relatively quiet on the inside. Okay, I'm putting my seatbelt on. I'm trying. Okay. It's very smooth driving. It does not have any air shocks or anything like that in that price range, but it does drive relatively smooth. I'm gonna rev it up a little bit to show you how fast it does not go. Again, turn signal gets you that lovely camera on the dashboard. One of the best features Kia has came up with. It's very good quality as well. It still lets you see the speed on the upper part of it. Now I'm gonna rev it up, and that is as fast as the car can go. We have been 7 seconds now and we reached 40 miles per hour. Not very fast for a 2.5 liter engine. It's probably one of the slowest family cars I've driven in the last couple of years. You would have expected slightly more. There are no pedal shifters or anything like that. But hey, this is like a pilot cockpit over here. It's like a airplane inside with all that technology inside. This is the map. Could have been nice if it would be all over the place and some more colors, especially since you can do it relatively good in a big screen. I would want it to be everywhere, but it's not. There is no way to change it, as you can see. It doesn't exist. Again, power to the people. That's as fast as it gets. I'm still within the speed limit. It's 45 in here. Don't call 911 on me, okay? Already lost fuel efficiency from 20 to 19.8. I don't know why it has a very small glass in here. It's practically useless. They could have just made the driver window to go all the way back in here, like in a normal car. With time you pay attention to more stuff, but what's nice is the A-beam is relatively narrow. By having a relatively narrow A-beam, you have relatively good vision, so you can see everything around you. You're not having too many blind spots on this vehicle, which is very nice. Remote start is very interesting as well. What's interesting about the remote start in this vehicle is that if you remote start the car, you just walk in here and seats, and you don't need to press the button to start it up. I have Fords, I have Maseratis, I have Subarus, I drive lots of cars. Every single one of them, when you remote start the vehicle, you still need to get into the car and press the start button. It doesn't happen over here. It's automatically started the moment you walk into the car. Now there is small LED right where the door handle is outside the vehicle. So when you walk to the vehicle at night and it identifies that you're coming next to the vehicle, it turns on those tiny little LEDs, and you can actually see where the door handle is, where the side mirror is, etc. Now, 5 years ago, Ford came with an innovating device called the kick sensor. The kick sensor is if you have lots of groceries in your hand and you go to the back of the car, you just kick under the bumper and it opens up the trunk for you, so you can put all your groceries without getting your hands into the keys or press anything. It doesn't have it in here, but Kia came up with a different solution, for good or bad. What's their solution? Let's sense that you're coming close to the trunk, and let's open the trunk for you. What does it mean? You have an option, you can set it up on the cluster over here. When you walk close to the back of the vehicle, it identifies you at the back of the vehicle and it opens the trunk for you. Sounds like a great idea, right? You're saying, oh, I'm carrying all those groceries, I'm gonna walk to the car and I'm just gonna walk next to it and it opens up for me. Yes, it's great. But what happens if you go to a gas station, for example, and you stop to fuel and you go inside the gas station from the back of the vehicle? You get into the gas station and all of a sudden your trunk is open. Did I ask for it to be open? Nope. What if I go around my car when I came to the car for the first time and I want to see if there is new scuffs or there is any marks on them or somebody is parked close to me? I just go behind my car and it opens the trunk for me. What if I have a sex doll in the back of it that is all pumped up and one of my neighbors sees it because I walked by it and it opens up the trunk? Where's my privacy, guys? Crazy. Who knows what you're hiding in the back? Not very good for mafias and serial killers, because if you accidentally put a dead body in the back and you walk by it, everybody's gonna see it. Yes. At the end, as I said, 72 out of 100, which is relatively a good score. You'll learn it about me. Thank you very much for watching.